Hello? Okay, okay. What's up, my name's Technobo here for Troubleshoot and welcome back to another video. So recently on my Discord, somebody asked what could be how to fix it now. Output device selected at the bottom, but as you can see in bold, you must microphone in order to actually hear you, access to use your microphone. So if you're someone who is struggling with this issue over here, you go ahead and fix simple and it's actually documented on Discord. Let's begin. Hit start and then click the settings icon to bring
Preload now.
PlayStation.
What's up, my name's Technobo here for Troubleshoot and welcome to Put Devices Enabled. You this issue over here. How exactly do we really simple help documents? So let's begin. Hit start and then click the settings icon to bring up your settings screen. Inside of here, open up the privacy section and then scroll down until you see microphone. Click on it and you'll see this here. Simply make sure to turn on allow apps access to your microphone. Then under the camera section, do the same here. Allow apps to access your camera. After doing this, you've successfully enabled the permission for Discord to use both of these. Scrolling down, if you expect to see it on this list, don't worry, it's only apps that are available in the Microsoft App Store. But scrolling down to the very bottom, you'll see this here. Allow desktop apps to access your microphone. Make sure that this is turned on as well, and if you click on Discord in here, you should see that it's currently in use. So that means that things are working as expected. If we go across to the camera tab, you'll see the same thing over here. Allow desktop apps to access your camera. So after turning these two options on in both camera and microphone, Discord should be able to use your camera and microphone as expected, and that error should no longer appear. It's super simple. But anyways, that's about it for this video. Hopefully you found something useful in it. My name's been Technobo here for Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao!
Hello? Hello? Oh, goodness. You're not. Okay. Can you hear me now? Hello? Okay. Are you, yeah. let's start with Twitch. Yeah, no, it's not the Twitch stream plus Discord that's the issue. The issue is that whenever I try to go on Steam, you know what I'm saying? When I play the game, then suddenly it like drops the audio for my mic. It seems like because you know what I mean, you can go onto Steam. Here you play the game, and then there's a different. You press Control Enter, and then you can go on to Google there too. But it seems that setting there is different than the setting that I can get on my desktop. Yeah, on when I'm not on the Discord. But see what internet's. Wait, are you BLS Rocket 87? I'm a little confused because I thought you were Chunkly Fun. Okay, and then it says, yeah, because I stopped because I'm not. I didn't bring the game up because every time I try to, it seems to drop the audio in Discord. I don't know why it's doing that because I even turned off the echo feature that is on Discord because when I googled it, it says that that was the issue people were having. It's like, oh, every time I try to talk to my friends, it seems to drop. Let me bring it up. So I found that link there, but it's not helping. Okay. It's weird that I'm not hearing you, but I see you typing in Twitch. Maybe I have to go to Steam itself. Okay, let me check the settings. I'm gonna try that. Oh, I wonder if it's because Steam's the issue. Okay. I think I'm gonna look in the settings for Steam. It might not be allowing recording through Steam. Settings. Okay, maybe it's the broadcast. So let me go to Steam, broadcast. Okay, I think I might have fixed it. So I'm still streaming. Hopefully this works. No. It's not letting me... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do I not? The problem is I needed... Yeah, so... Hey. Okay, so I tried going into Steam to change the settings for that one, but it didn't seem to do something to... Yeah. So the issue is, even though I went onto Steam and checked the audio for that, enabling the microphone, and then so so everything seems to be fine now. But then when I click play, that's when it stops. Cause yes, because okay, well I tried that just in case, but that still didn't. Okay, I did. Before that, it didn't have it enabled, and it still was having issues. And I press enabled, it's still having issues. So obviously, it's unrelated to that. Yes. Yes, because it seems that when I press play, that's when, because you can't see the screen of the game I'm playing. So when I try to go to Discord, then it's like, oh, okay, that's when it cuts down the audio. It like mutes my mic, because then it's the moment I bring up. So when I press play in the game, and then I go to I press Alt Enter, and then I go to Discord there because I have to change. So maybe I don't go there. I just press the Windows button here to bring it back. So it seems to be, as long as I don't go through Discord through the Google or on Steam. You know what I'm trying to say? That, okay, so you know how you can press Alt Enter and that'll bring up, it'll be like guides and stuff, and you press guide, and then you can go there to go through Google that way instead of having to back out of the game. You know what I mean? Alt tab, yeah, Alt tab, yeah, that's it. So you press that command function, and then you would go to Google through that way, and then you go to Discord. And it seems like when I try to go through that way, the moment I do, then it shows that I cannot unmute it, because it seems like the Google Chrome there does not allow me, because there's no dots on the top right hand side, the three dots that you click that you can go to settings, which would allow you to add Discord. So what I'm going to try to do is not go through that way, and if I have any issues, press the Windows key. So I'm going to try that, see if that's it. So as long as I don't go through Discord through Steam. So let me try that, because you can still hear me right now. Okay, I press play. Okay, the game's loading. Still loading. I'm just talking so you can at least hear me to see at what point does it stop. Okay, can you still hear me? Okay, so I'm going to press the Windows tab, the Windows button on my keyboard, go to Discord, and then screens. So I see applications. I see go live and screen share dash. I can't quite see that. That just says Discord. Okay. Chunkily Fun Discord. That's you. There's Steam. There's Twitch Studio. And then what's this? This also says Discord again. So is there a way then, because you were mentioning that I can add it, so let me go to my settings, because I remember seeing something. Yes. Yes. Well, but it's not coming up is what I'm trying to say. That's why I was reading that off to you. Oh, okay. Then I'm going to have to look up. I think I have to go to in Notepad. I have to change the settings then on it. Uh, I'm gonna have to Google that because I remember that being an issue that you have to actually type into because there's a Notepad function in there in the program, and you have to type in to make it windowed. Uh, uh, Okay, so basically I just have to type the change full screen equals yes and change that to no in order to get the windowed mode. Okay. So let me just go to the local uh, files, browse. I might have to do it for both. Let me just see. Oh, it's already over here. Okay, dog, hard to find 3. I guess settings I go to. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I'm going to change this to no, and then because I have the finest hour part of it, that actually has its own file to it. So I'm also going to do it to that one if there is a settings. It might not be. I don't see anything here, so it might be good. Okay. So hopefully that causes it, because that should be how to do it. Okay, so apparently I have to do this every time I launch it up by putting that code in there. Okay, so let me stop the game. Okay, let me make sure that it actually says. It still says it. It should say it. Full screen equals now. Okay, still says there. That's weird. Okay. Okay, so I changed it to the code to say full screen equals no. So once it loads up, which is only going to take up a couple seconds with the solid state drive. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Oh, I think I just saw it pop up on the top left-hand side. No. Set up your screen share, set up your screen, and have your friends grab it. Select a server for your Steam. Oh, do I need a server then in order to do this? Okay, because it's not. Yeah, yeah. Well, I was just saying so you can see my screen. Can you see it? Okay, so it should. Okay, okay. Because when I went into the game, then I saw on the left-hand side, probably because I put it into windowed mode, that I can share it, but it was saying that I could do it in a server. So let me go back to Discord. Yeah, true. Why is it not coming up now? Maybe I should just create a server, so that way I could do it that way. Okay, just something temporarily. Because it says I'm streaming it. Oh, wait! Swap to application to resume. Can you hear me? Okay, because it says stream pause, swap to your application to resume. Because I saw on the left-hand side about the game to swap screens. So if I go into the game, I think you should be able to see it. So let me see. Okay, do you see it now? Okay, because I see on the left-hand side you speaking, it says I'm live. Okay, that seems to have been the issue. Okay, so as long as I don't go through Discord through this way, my mic won't cut out. Okay, so that was, oh my goodness, that took longer than I hoped. So now you can see the map, right? Okay, yeah. So basically, so since you can actually see it now, there's different start dates you can pick from. I'm not sure how balanced they are because they tend to focus more on the original start date of 1936. So there were probably some issues with the Finest Hour in that regard, because that was the last DLC pack they made for it, and then they started working on the fourth game. Okay, there's different scenarios they have here. You want me to just start in 1936? Okay. Yeah, usually that one because it gives you the most freedom to do what you want. The other ones you could change, like let's say you want to do Attack on the West and then play as France, and then you have a much harder time because in 1936, one of the games I played as France in 1936. I naval invaded Japan with the UK's help because the UK's navy was strong enough to keep them contained, and basically knock them out of the war, bring my forces back to France, and then I fought against Germany and Italy, knocked them out of the war, and then eventually had a war against the Soviet Union and knocked them out. Even with all that land, because of France's, it has a negative 30% to its population crisis. So, oh my goodness, that takes a big toll, even with all that land you have. And it doesn't help that because Japan is not part of a continent. It's its own separate thing. That's also another negative to your population. You do get... Yeah, because if they didn't put that in place, the UK controls, as you see, India, and its population would be insane. So they kind of got around that issue in the fourth game by having India be its own thing. It's called British Raj, which kind of makes sense because it probably was its own thing in a sense. Okay, so there's basically any nation that existed during this time I could play as. So is there any nation in particular that you would find interesting for me to play as? And okay, because I already tried Poland on my own. You know what? I'll probably just play as Belgium and see if I can survive against Germany. So this will give me some time. It's going to be difficult. I'm going to just set it normal on the difficulty. That's usually what I'm used to. For the harder modes, basically it gives you less industry to work with. So it's, you know what I mean, it's one of those games where it benefits the AI and negatively impacts you, but it doesn't change how the AI works. But luckily the AI I can figure it out. Normal game mode. You can change it to like arcade, which helps with supply, but then it's like I don't know. It's too game. It's not as fun when you have to deal with supply. I'm gonna keep these all under player control. Okay, I'm gonna play. Jesus. Okay. Do you hear any audio from the game? Okay, cause yeah, I don't hear anything either. That's weird. That's fine, cause like literally it would just be playing like some music. Yeah. Okay, so I have it with the Countess here. I just like it because it's very much easier to visualize. So let me see what I have to work with. Yes, okay. Oh, okay. So I'm going to do Prepare for War. This was introduced in this one. Basically, as you see, it loses your neutrality, but it depends on the amount of industry you have. So if this industry is too high, like I'm going to do a little cheat here. So let me back out of this. Go back to the no, it was the democracy. You see how it's not there? Okay, let me go back to Belgium. Okay, do you see this down here on the bottom left-hand corner? Prepare for war. Okay, so for this it decreases neutrality, but it depends on your industry. So if your industry is too high, this will go. You won't be able to use it. So let me go to Poland because I know that they can't do it. So you see how this is grayed out? Okay, so for Poland, what you would have to do is you would have to drop from basic mobilization to full economy, and that would trigger. It would make it. Oh, I guess. Oh, actually, it's disappeared. Okay, so it wouldn't even appear then. But yeah, so you would have to, like I said, drop this down to full economy because your industry is too large that you can't activate it. So you would have to drop it down in order to do it. So let me just. I do like putting the cheats in just so it's just easier to checks different things. Oh yeah, I have to type in money. Let's do 1,000, so that way it will let me. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. I might have to go through past one a day. Let me see. Okay, I went by that fast. Oh, okay. So, okay. So it automatically did it probably because I switched from a player nation, which was me, Belgium, and then I switched to an AI. So the game automatically must have already clicked prepared for war button. So let me see. Yeah, because you see how it's dropping now, neutrality. Oh, okay. You see my cursor, how it's hovering over declare war? Oh, what do you see right now? Yes. Oh, so you're saying you don't see the pop-up? Yeah, okay, so you don't see the pop-up then, because right now my mouse is hovering over declare war, and then it shows you we cannot declare war because our neutrality is higher than the present threat. Oh, it maybe my, yeah. Okay, so from my perspective it is. Okay. Yeah, because my cursor right now is over declare war, and then below that it explains why I can't declare war. Basically, because the neutrality is too high. And basically, the prepare for war function allows small nations to go to war sooner, which allows them to capture some land quicker. You can do this with Poland, for example, because the industry is too high. You would, like I said, you drop it down to have small industry temporarily just to activate it, and then you jump back up, and then you're able to gobble up your surrounding neighbors real quick to help you prepare against Germany. That's one of the gamey things you can do as the player. Yeah. Of course, as Poland, I was able to defeat Germany by basically massing my troops here, putting like one troop per province along here, along here, basically, and then just throwing everything across here, like across the river, and then surrounding the capital. Because, at least for this game, supply comes from the capital itself. So if you surround it, supply can't get out, but there'll be like pockets of supply in certain areas. So there might be like maybe there might be some here, or like maybe in cities and stuff. You'll have to check with the supply. So right now you see how it's like this getting supply here, but then you see the blue one here that's showing it's getting less supply, and that's based on infrastructure. Sometimes it could be caused by a bottleneck. So if you only have like one good road going from point A to point B, it's not going to get as much supply as if you had multiple. So you can't just, you know what I'm trying to say? It creates like a bottleneck feature. Okay, so since I caused the game to speed up, let me exit. I'm going to go back into Bird Mom. Okay, that's probably Discord or something on the left-hand side popping up. Because it's like Bird Mom or something. Okay, so I'll go back into Belgium. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Well, I'm not going to invade my neighbors because I think Netherlands is protected by... Yeah, guaranteed by the United Kingdom. So unless I want to join the Axis, which is going to be tricky because Belgium's a democracy. So that means that if the United Kingdom is influencing them, it has a greater bonus because they're both the same government type. So if Germany, for example, doesn't want to invade Belgium, they want Belgium to join the side, what you would do is you would have to, as Germany, influence the elections in Belgium, either to a point that your side wins the election, or you can do a coup. Yeah. Of course, some nations, for example, like Switzerland, it's hard-coded that regardless of the neutrality level, they will not join a side. Okay, now in the base game, they would. There was one time I remember playing as France and Switzerland joined my side, but in the finest hour I decided to change it to keep it a little bit more historical, so that way Sweden, for example, doesn't join, Switzerland doesn't join. Now the only time they do is if you attack them, and so how it works is, let's say the Allies and the Axis had a war, and as France I declare war on Switzerland. If they are close enough to this side, like the fascist side, for example, then Germany can ask them to join the alliance, and they'll accept it. Okay, so it's possible that, like, even if you declare war on Switzerland, if they're not, even if the neutrality is 0, they might not be able to join, so there might be a brief window of time you could take them out and not have to worry about them being accepted, and suddenly have a bunch of Germans at your doorstep. But, so as Belgium, it's going to be a bit tricky. Yeah, it's a paradox game, which tends to be a bit complex. But like you said, it's more combat oriented. It's not like EU4 or whatever, which is like much longer time span and more complex in certain ways. So I tend to like the combat feature with this one. Hearts of Iron 4, I just find it a little bit easy, and you have like a national focus, which is neat, but it just seems it gives you like too much depending on like certain situations. Like some of it's like you place Austria and then you do a focus and Hungary joins your side. So now you get all this land without having to do anything except click a button. Which is just, it's still a little too simple for me. So for this one, it's going to be difficult because Germany will eventually get tanks in 1940, so the only way to counter it would either be my own heavy tanks, which unfortunately, there's no way I'm going to get anywhere near that because of my leadership being so poor. Because it takes one leadership to spend, it's like 100% points into this. So right now, as you see, it's 1.85 leadership I currently have allotted to that. So if I click light engine, you see how that's yellow? That means it's like 85%. Or whatever. It's really important. It's one of the things. It's exponential, from what I understand, and that's one of the problems that they try to. So the more research, because what happens is there's this tech here called leadership. So as you see, every time you do, it's 5%. So when I research this, the next time you see it's going to say 10%. It's really just 5%. It's like 10% from the original. See, you know what I'm trying to say? Okay, so because of this is 5% based on your leadership. I think it's only based on the base because you can increase it through various ways. Like there's certain leaders. Yeah. So sometimes doing that gets you another leadership on top of it, depending on the percentage of it, which means that for a small nation like me, I might get only like 0.5, let's say, out of it. But like France or Germany might get like 1 or 2 on top of it. Yeah, I'm saying that. What? Uh, Probably because of the amount of times they can do it. Yeah, it could end up being much bigger. So that's what I mean by exponential. Like, I it it's hard for me to research it because I only have 7.1 research leadership, and I have to allot that between making sure I have enough officers, uh, espionage, research, diplomacy. Um, so I have to think about what I'm going to do. There's also sometimes I might like forego diplomacy just because I can't afford it. So we'll see. Definitely. So as you see, my neutrality is only 90. I'm going to prepare for war. Uh, so one of the things that I have to keep an eye on is this here, because on the second day, um, it is the day that you should start trading with nations, because that's when they need it's not it's they need fuel. So that's when you should start doing it to get a lot of money, and you can use that money to help change your laws. You can use that to help buy a production license for certain things like tanks. You still have to. Oh, okay. Okay, so let me go to Discord, right? I mean, not Discord, Twitch, right? Okay. Yeah, I don't have enough room for that. I already talked to Daniel about that. I'm fine for this now. That's why I figured I'd have someone on, so that way they could keep an eye on it. But I'll bring it up so that way. No custom mode? Oh, yeah, there's a custom mode. Oh, true, true, true. Oh, yeah, yeah, true, true, true. I didn't even think of that. I was thinking because of Daniel's setup with the two, because a lot of Twitch streamers have like the two monitors, so that's what I'm thinking of. Okay. Okay, so you were asking about no custom mode. So there is a custom mode. I can show you that. So I'll resign. Uh, so click this custom. Okay, and I'll do both. So with custom, boy, let me close. This keeps popping up. Um, you have a certain amount that you can spend. So let me see. Okay, so you see 1,000-1,000 for the diplomacy points. Oh, did I lose you? Oh, I thought you would BS, Rocker. Okay, okay, it was super confusing. Okay, yeah. So why is he asking me why I'm not doing custom mode, or is he asking me? Oh yeah, there is a custom mode. Um, so how it works? So as you see, there's diplomacy, technology, and development, and you get a certain amount of points for each one to mess around with. So because my neutrality is oh okay, it's actually 100%. So I can move my use all my points to decrease it to 71%, which means that I can join the allies a little sooner. I could activate certain laws sooner because you're to get like the war economy and stuff. You have to have low neutrality, and you also have to have your unity being high. Of course, that depends on democracy. There's also with fascist governments a little different, and then communist governments a little get different too. So each one's a little different their own way. I could, if I wanted to, I could mess around with this here. So that means I make myself. You see how Belgium, when I move the axis thing, it moves to the right. Basically, I'm changing the alignment in a sense. So that means I'm closer to Germany. So that means if this were to, I can bring my neutrality down. I think it has to be below 20% or 25%. I'm able to join an alliance. So by doing this, it means I don't have to spend as much time uh, aligning to that certain government. Because I think this could take a year or two. Well, it takes a long time when you're not in war, or at least there's not a war going on. It can take a couple of years, but when there is a war, you'll see. I'm not sure if you can see it now, but I'm hovering my cursor over Belgium, and it brings up where I'm drifting to, and it says I'm mostly drifting to the Allies, and that's because, and it explains why. Part of it's due because I'm close to France, for example, and the other reason is because of our ideology. There's also relationships to faction members, but it's like small. You have to basically mess around with trade and do like little bits of trade to increase that, but I don't mess around with that. So not in this one. You would you can't do it internally, if you understand what I mean. It's not like, oh, okay, I'm playing as Belgium. What? There are probably some people who have done it with mods, but in this one, they don't do it. In Hearthstone Iron 4, there's like, oh, okay, I want to play communist this time, so I'll click this button, and I'll go down this route, and it will increase the support of the Communist Party. And it's like, okay, I can either do a civil war, or I can click this button to have a referendum that just elects the Communist Party to power. So some of them do that, but I don't mind. Oh, are you? What are you? Oh, if you wanted to do that, you could honestly just go into the notepad that they have and just change it right then and there. So yeah. So, because you would you would want to set up like its own little thing. So in case you break it, you would have to re-download it again. Uh, it depends with the mods how you want to go detail. Because if you want to just change it from like, because you could probably change like one text to say U.S. equals democracy and change the U.S. equals communism. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you would probably just change like that code, that line. Yeah, because it's like literally in a notepad, is what I'm saying. You would have. Yeah, like you could set the starting technology so that way you had a lot of, like, had the best starting technology if you wanted to, if you, in the notepad. Well, with the cheat codes, you can. So let me see if I can bring it up here. So for this one, you can increase like the speed of production and the speed of technology, but that also applies to the AI too. Yeah, yeah. So you would have to manually. That's what I'm saying. You would have to go to the notepad and make sure you would actually type it in that the start date of 1936 USA, for example, would have like nukes. Would already have the technology for it. Yeah. Of course, you can already put in the cheat code to add nukes if you want to. You could do that just to see how the AI reacts. You could, when I actually did cheat in one of the playthroughs I did by just increasing the national unity of my enemy just to see if it would do anything, if they would put up a bigger fight. And no, it didn't do much. Sometimes you could do that just to make it more interesting. Okay. So yeah, so you can change. So I'm just gonna mess around with this. Change the neutrality to show you. Yeah, I can't go back. Okay. So this is a technology. Now the technology is based on the points given to you is based on the nation that you're changing. So a nation that has a lot of technology will have a lot of points. So because Belgium, for example, doesn't have a lot, I can't change as much. But I could be like, okay, maybe I don't want to do no ships, no bombers, no fighters, and focus purely on infantry, or maybe go down the tank route because they do have oil, for example. Yeah. So I could be like, or maybe do this, make sure they have a lot of leadership, so when I do start playing as them, I can then start researching a lot. I would have the ability to do so. So let's say I'm going to put a lot of it into education. So let's just say, yeah, that. And then this deals with the deployment, so then I can change the starting army to a certain extent based on, again, the points you're allotted based on the nation. Of course, this is also based on, I think, the technology. Yeah, based on the technology. So since you didn't research a lot of good technology, for example, you don't have a lot to work with, but still. Just something you can mess around with. So I'm just going to say this is okay. Just so I can just show you. See how this, since it's our... Oh, okay. So you see how the leadership before in the when I started up the game was only 7.41, but because I allotted everything to education, it's now 8.33. Now, the more land that I capture, this will go up a lot faster. Yeah, it's just yes. And you use that leadership to then do more research, so it kind of cycles back into itself. Yeah, I mean that's what you could do. I'm just doing it, just showing you off. I'm not going to do this for. I'm going to play it without custom. That's what I'm used to. But I'm just kind of showing you can mess around with this quite a bit. You could, of course, add again. Go to Notepad and just add a bunch of points. So you could have like Belgium have like 100 leadership if you wanted to, and then have everything researched. Well, to an extent, because there's some that you have to do buildings for, and you can't do that in custom mode. You can build units, but not buildings. Okay, so I can't, but like, for example, but you could probably, again, put a cheat so that way you add the nukes, for example, and then you can, you'll need a transport for that. I think you need a bomber or whatever to transport the nuke. Okay, so I'm just going to resign. And I'm going to go back to Twitch real quick just to check out. Okay, no new comments. Okay. I know Daniel recommended doing I think it was the OBS, where it reads the text. I'm just a little worried that people just write, uh, inappropriate things, and then it like reads it out. hmm Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Where it's like, oh, good job, something you like. They pay $1 and say good job or something. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So right now I'm just gonna do this, see how it works. Because I know with YouTube, for example, they say just focus on the videos, don't like worry about the money. Because once you put out good videos, then people will come. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll see how things work out. Okay, so I'm gonna have to worry about. I'm gonna have to worry about Luxembourg because they always fall because they're in forest, which is it's a little good, but like they don't have any rivers protecting them because Germany can just come right down here and smash and take them out. So I'm gonna probably have to put some troops here. Gonna have to defend. Okay. I'm gonna have to defend behind rivers to have any real shots. So the Netherlands are gonna fall. I can't really protect them unless I can create like the shortest line. Okay. So what I like to do is normally you're supposed to keep the HQs because they give like bonuses, but the problem for a smaller nation is they really can't because you need manpower if they to okay how to explain this. Okay, so you see with offices how you need put leadership into offices, and officer is important because it helps out with this here. See how it says there's a little flag and it has 100%. It's on the far right hand side. Okay, so that has to do with this the organization of the unit itself. Yes. Okay. So okay. So there's a okay. So it's probably some overlay or some issue because on my end I can see it. So there's a flag and there's 100%. That basically means that my organization is 100%. But you can go up to 140% in the finest hour. So that means that your units will fight longer without retreating. No, no, no. Y- yeah, organization. Yeah. Okay, so that organization's important. Now, obviously, it's really low because this unit. Do you see the exclamation point right here where my cursor is pointing? Or do you at least see it says that the unit is a reserve unit? Okay, so that's because it's reserve. That's why the organization is so low at this point, even though my the officer ratio is 100%. So that will well, there's 3 of them. Okay, because there's okay. So one thing I want to do, I want to another reason why this is a little gamey. The reason why you want to get rid of HQs at least during peacetime is that they count towards consumer goods, and by getting rid of them, it decreases consumer goods, which frees up your industry to do more stuff. Yeah. Now, one of the things you can do as the U.S. is that you can neglect consumer goods, and that will, as you see, did you see how when I moved how it's Okay, do you see like the flame on the top right-hand side? There's like a flame, and next to it is like it's like 0.00 and it's green. Okay, okay, so that's descent, and you want to make sure that's green. How now? However, as the U.S., what you could do is you could put no industry into consumer goods, and you see now it's red, which means that every so often dissent increases, which affects combat, but also decreases your industry. And as U.S., remember how I mentioned about having low industry prepares you for war, lets you trigger that event to prepares you for war. Okay, so what you would do as the U.S., one of the things you could do is you could cause that to happen, so that way it starts dropping because the U.S. has 100% neutrality, which means they can't get involved in wars. So you would start getting that dropping until it's low enough that you can join the Allies. Yeah, so that's a way to get in. Of course, it stops at a certain point because I think it only lasts for 300 days. So if you're at 100% neutrality, that's it only gets down to about 40% neutrality. So you would have to increase the threat levels of usually those of different ideologies of your own, especially if they have a bigger industry. So as Belgium, I would want to increase the threat level of Germany because they're fascist and I'm democracy. So that the max you can do when you do a threat level like that is 0.07 per day. So yeah, because it's basic to decrease. Exactly, yeah. Basically, you're like, oh no, look at these big bad Germans. We need to prepare for war. Because right now, yeah. So this is conscription laws. So, for example, because my neutrality is so high, I can't even do 1 year draft. So that would increase the amount of manpower I would get. It would help with offices because the higher this is, the more office I get based on how much leadership. So right now, even if I put everything into leadership for the offices, because I'm at volunteer army, I only get 14.8 per day, which is that's going to take quite a lot if I wanted to get to 140%. Oh, for this, for leadership, no. Um, it won't. Uh, okay. So for this game, they you don't have an impact on it, but for Hearts of Iron 4, it does have an impact because if you go full service, then it does have an impact. I think in the latest DLC you can recruit women to the workforce, which would help alleviate some of that issue. Because you know what I'm saying, then women are working, and then you don't have to have an issue of splitting it. But I don't. But it just yeah. At least for this one, you don't have to worry about it because like you don't get a lot of manpower to begin with. Yeah, because like you only get 105, and so let me show you. So let's say I want to do 2 infantry. When I do this, I see manpower is 9.32, so I can eat that up pretty quickly because that's only one division right there. Let me move my cursor out of the way. Oh, okay. I thought I clicked that you can see the cursor for on Twitch, so that's weird. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's gonna be a little weird when I start moving stuff around, I guess. Okay. That is what it is. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. Going to select my HQs. Now, I can't get rid of the theater one, because you need, like, one HQ out there, but that's fine. Wait a minute. I think Belgium has colonies. So let me see if there's anything here. Oh yeah, I should get rid of them because they're fully mobilized, which means that they're going to put a lot for the consumer goods. It's not much, but it's like I'm not going to waste time upgrading them, and I don't need a military police because I'm going to be on the defense anyway. Yes, because they help decrease the threat level. Not the threat level, the revolt level. Uh, you just have milit. Yes. So you would need them because let's say as Germany, I'm moving into the Soviet Union. If I go to, you won't be able to see it because of I'm not at war, but like I'm in supply mode right now, and you would see like it would be like green, but then have like red slashes across it, for example. That tells you that there is because of the revolt level that it's at, that it's hurting your supply system. Yeah, so you would have to put like military police there to help deal with that because you don't want to end up in a situation. It's like it's abstracted in a sense. Okay, so that's sort of how the game explains. Well, it's a paradox game, so unfortunately, with paradoxes, they're not really good at explaining things. So it's more like the fans have to like make their own guides for it. Because for this one, your tutorial involves you talking to Adolf Hitler, and he explains the game to you. Yeah. But they don't say that. They say, like, a guy with a mustache is painting something. Yeah. But you know it's him. And he's like, and he goes on a crazy rant about stuff. It's like, okay, I get what you're going here. Of course, I said his name, so I think I'm probably banned from Discord. Oh, shit. Did I just lose you? Okay, because I just brought it up, so I got worried a second. Okay. If you want to, you can also change the generals, which is a good idea. And then you can also change the name of your division, depending on how, like... Oh, yeah, so each general has its own skill level, and it has different traits. So... Okay, so depending on where they are... So, okay, let me show you. So I'm going to build a new core here. So the skill level affects, so depending on, like, there's a core, there's an army, and then new army group, there's an army group of theater. So depending on where they are here, affects different things. So I'm going to actually have to bring it up because I don't remember off the top of my head, since I don't use it much, since the HQs are physically on the board, so you have to deal with, like, moving them around because you have to deal with the radios. So you don't want to... Yeah, so, like, for example... let me see if I can show... I'm trying to see if I can show the distance. Okay, so you see how it says I clicked... let me pick a place you can probably see better. Okay, you see the red circle here? It says Berlin. Okay, so I click that, and then I'm going to move my cursor over to Brandenburg. And you see the overlay there that says it's 48 miles from Berlin. Okay, so you have to, one of the things you would have to deal with is, let me find the core since I just built it. Bring this up. Okay. I'm trying to find where it says the distance. Okay, so it would show the distance. I think it's like 200 kilometers for the first core, for the core, for example. So, yeah, for the core. Yes. Oh, I guess it's supposed to be corp, because it's what is a core? I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's weird because you would think it's spelled pronounced corpse, but no, that's not it. Yeah. Oh, but your game, yeah. I understand. Yeah. So the point I'm making is that if you're too far out of range, so I think it's 200. So let's say I have my core here, the HQ, at Berlin, but then my unit's all the way over here. I'm going to zoom in all the way over this location here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do Hanover because I can pronounce it. So I'm all the way over at Hanover, that unit. Well, it's too far away, so it doesn't get the bonuses that are associated with that level. So you can mess around with it. I'm not going to do it for a small nation just because this is too much. You need manpower, so every time you build an HQ, use one manpower up, and you already don't have a lot of manpower to begin with. And then you also have to assign leadership, because every time you build an HQ, you need 100 offices. So you're going to be spending leadership for that. So honestly, I just get rid of all the HQs, because it also has to do with supply. It's For a bigger nation, it's fine. It's so minor, you're not going to even be affected. But as a small nation, you can't afford it, which is fine. It's supposed to be tough anyway. You are a small nation. Let me X this out. Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, it affects different skill levels. The skills affect like so for army group that I had recently up here, if you had a really high skill level, that actually decreases the amount of supply you have. In fact, it's actually better to let me see. Okay, you see how it says minus 20% for supply consumption? It's actually better to have a general that has a higher skill level than it is to put someone in a that has the logistics wizard, because of how the percentages work. Base. Okay. Let me see if I can bring up. Okay, it's not letting me bring up Google for some reason. Basically, the army group, for example, that was one of the things I created. Because you create a corps, you create an army, then you create the army group, and then in that army group, you can change the for that particular one. When you change the general, the skill level affects supply, how much supply they use. So a high one decreases how much supply that army group uses. So every unit under that army group uses less supply, but because it's like high up in command, it has a smaller impact. But it's still, even those little bit across that big group can be important. So sometimes, for example, it's okay to have like a general that has like a low skill, even an old guard at a theater, just because it has such little impact on affecting all the other people below it. So, for example, this one. Okay, so I'm going to use this is a division, for example, right here that I have opened up. So this guy, he has like 100% impact on this one division. So all those units below him. And then I can create a core, and that. Yes. I don't know. Okay, I'll have to see when I play back the stream what it sounds like. Okay, I would have to look at that later and figure that out. That's fine. That's good to know. I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, basically, so, like, the division has 100%, and then above that is the core, which has, like, I think 50% impact, and then the army, I think, is 25, so as you go up, it gets smaller. Yeah, it's sort of, like, spread out. Yeah, it depends on the situation. Because that's the thing, like, some of this technology and stuff is situational. So, like, you can get, like, a super heavy battleship, but, like, you can't change certain things on it. So I don't think you can change the... You might not be able to change the anti-aircraft. You might not be able to. So you're kind of stuck with that. So, but in some situations, that might be a good thing. You might be like, hey, I can't really afford certain things, so I'll build this, and as long as I have a strong air force, having a super heavy battleship makes sense. So there was one game in which, as France, I built up these super heavy tanks. So you know the German mouse? Yeah. Okay, so it was basically a tank that was only built on paper, because it would have been extremely heavy if they actually built it. I think they might be like one in construction that was ever built, but it's like it would be like so slow that was ridiculous. It's like a moving fortress, but it would be like bombed out of the sky before it ever reached the front lines. But so basically, these tanks are situational because they only have. Okay, so okay, let me show you a unit. Okay, so do you see? So I put the cursor over the fist, and it shows strength, right? Do you see strength? How many men each brigade is made of? Okay, okay. So the reason I bring that up is because, do you see how light armor? It's like a purplish color. Okay, that is 3,000. That means that that's how many men make up that one brigade. Okay, so for the super heavy, there's only 1,000 men, so it means they can break easier. But because of how the combat mechanics work, uh, let me show you. Okay, so you see like the little teddy bear that says softness. Okay, so softness affects the firepower of the soft attack. So if you have 100% softness, then soft attack's going to have a huge impact on that, how much damage you take. Okay, so if you have the softness really low, like a heavy tank, the super heavy, I'll use the light armor because that's here. So you see 30% for the light armor. That means that you're going to take a lot less from it, from soft attack. Well, low percentage can be counted by the hard attack, which is like the bazooka. So you would have to mix in units with soft and hard, or you could like focus purely on soft and then have other units. You know what I'm saying? You'd have like a specialized unit that does soft attack, and then you use other units that that do hard attack to break away the tanks, to destroy enemy tanks. Uh, I don't know the exact math if that exactly works out. Yeah, because at least in this one, the finest era, they have a piercing combat mechanic. So, do you see piercing attack? Okay, so for that, see how I just changed it so anti-tank is at the top. See the number 5 there? Okay, that means that if the tank's the unit's defense. The armor is 5. That's something else. Yes, how well this brigade can resist armor-piercing attacks. So, for the light armor, it only has 2, and the anti-tank is 5, which means it can pierce it. But let's say I was using a unit like the anti-aircraft, for example, how it has 0 piercing. That means that if I were to attack, I can't attack with the aircraft gun by itself because it only has 1,000 strength. It's a support thing. But let's say I could do that. I'm using that as an example. That basically means I think it does like the amount of organization I lose. I think is like double. It's a huge impact if you cannot pierce a unit. So you definitely want units that can pierce. So the one I have set up here, the infantry, anti-tank, artillery, it's usually not recommended to go full in on this, but like honestly, you don't know when they're going to move the tanks because the tanks are very fast, so I usually just go with this setup because it's easy also to deal with the math involved. Yes. Yes. Okay, so with that actually deals with technology, because that's the practical effect of building those units. Yes. Yes, but yes, so for this affects the practical, so, okay, so how it works is, do you see on the bottom left-hand side, you see land, right? Okay, so you see the first one is infantry theory. That is whenever you research technology. And the infantry practical is every time you build an infantry unit. So the higher those two go up, the faster that you can research technology. So, no, that's unrelated. It basically increases the speed. So let me show you. Okay, so I put 100% into small arms, and see how this is June 19th. So 1936, June 9, the 19th of June. So that's affected by infantry theory, infantry practical, and then this one right here. I think that's the Grand Battle Plan Doctrine, which I have nothing in. But let's say I would click something else. So I'll click on all of these. Okay. So you see how it's different days that they're being researched, even though I have 100%, like it's 100% leadership being put in. You know what I'm trying to say? All of them are fully put in. Yeah. So that is affected by how the other ones are. So I might light artillery, for example. My practical for the light artillery might be low, which is why it's going to take until July 4th to research it, unlike the small arms, which will take until June 19th. So you understand, which it's sort of like the more you research, the more you build, the faster you can do it. So it's like you become better skilled at it. However, this can degrade over time. So if you stop doing it, there's a mathematical formula that I don't remember off the top of my head, but every so often it will slowly drop. I think it's both the practical and the theory can drop over time. You basically, it's like you forget how to do it as efficiently. Oh, okay. What part are you struggling with? Okay. So all technology and everything you build has that. So for infantry, do you see on the bottom left-hand side land theory? I mean infantry theory. Okay, you see that number next to it, 2.5? So that's, at least for Belgium, for example, that's what they start with. So that's the theory they have for infantry, and right next to it is the practical, which is also two. In what way? Yes. 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 Uh, yeah, it affects the speed in which you build a unit. I mean, you research the technology. Yes. So let's say for land theory, let's say, because for this, for example, not only do I get the research for it, but I also get an increase in my infantry theory. So that number increase. You want the number to increase. There's actually a graph I remember seeing. There's diminishing returns. I think the highest number is like 20, and so you can't. It's not gonna, like, even if you get to like 20 theory, like, or 30 theory, for example. Once you get past 20, you're not going to increase that anymore. It's like zero at that point. It plateaus. But okay, that's fine. I'm gonna mess around with this for a little bit. I won't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just give me an idea. Let me check to see if anyone's here. Okay, no. Okay. Okay, okay. Oh, nope. Okay, no one on. Okay. What are this? What am I gonna do? Okay, so I have to defend 8 positions. Okay. Okay, if I'm gonna do 8. Okay, let me figure this one out. So I'm texting right now, friend. See, asking what I'm doing. Telling that I'm live streaming. Okay, so what I have to figure out here is how many units put along the river line. Well, I need the shortest defensive line possible since I'm going to be fighting against Germany, and being behind the rivers gives me the best possible defense. So, Luxembourg's going to be tricky here because it has basically... This is the only place I have to defend, because he's going to be attacking from the river line, and here, and from here. So it's basically untenthable. So Arlon, I'm going to attempt to defend this. If not, I'm going to have to pull back to here. I'm just a little worried because it means that France has to defend more places. So I'm definitely going to have to also build up this area. It's hills, but still not enough because I prefer a river. I would have to build my forts, especially on that part right there, to give me any possible chance of winning this. At least holding off. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to save this. Okay. So in order to do it, so I moved up here because I need... If I put here, that means that's another few units I have to defend. I have to defend here, here, here. It's just too many places. So here, at least there's rivers I have to go across. So it shortens the line that I have to defend. I'll have to give a bit of territory, but that's fine. Here's bad. It's 3 positions you can attack from, and there's no river. Even the hill's not going to help me at all. If it was a mountain, it'd be even better, but no. Because how this game works, you don't want any more than 4 units per province, unless you're like attacking. Like, let's say you're here, and you from Brex's. You know what? Let me pick a place I can actually pronounce. Let's go. Okay, welcome back. Okay, so you see on the map here how I have this blue line here. Yeah, so it's a little map feature that you can create. It helps you come up with a plan. You can add text if you want. I find it really helpful. Yeah, yeah, basically, it's like a paint feature. It allows you to be like, okay, let me look at infrastructure and like let me map out the position that I want my units to go because that's the only places that have any. Because if it's black, for example, okay, I can't show it here, but there's certain places on the map in which there's no infrastructure, which means your units cannot pass through. So by at least having that mapped out, you'll be able to see it easier. Like you could swip to the map function, but some people prefer the political one I'm on right now because it's just easier to be like, okay, uh, this is how much land I've captured. It's just easier to see what you've captured when it's in the political map mode. But you would have it for this, it'd be like, okay, what's going on? Okay, this is 100%. Okay, so I'll just map my pass through here. You know what I'm saying? It can be a little easier. There's also weather, which can affect troop movement. I really don't bother with the weather, but it can affect like troop movement. Um, like your tanks, for example, because it's like, is it in mud? Like, oh, okay, no wonder my troop movement. But it usually just shows you anyway when you click on it, because see how it says 1 kilometer per hour, and it shows you that it's slow because due to the weather. Yeah, but if you want to like have it paused and like really map it out, you could definitely do it. If you're really into that type of stuff, like it's sort of like a really in-depth board game. Okay. Yeah, it's real time. Right now I have it. Sorry, what were you saying? No, 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 no. It's not like what's his face? Diplomacy. It's not like that where everyone gives a no, no. It's real time. So right now I have it paused because this is the time to really figure out what you're going to do. So what I figure is I'm going to have to just because there's no way I'm going to defeat Germany in a one-on-one battle. They just have too much manpower. They have too much technology. So what I figure, I'm going to set up a defensive line from here on Middelburg, which is the Netherlands. And then I'm going to pass through, the line goes through all these rivers. So I'm going to, well, except for down here. I'm going to attempt to hold this, but I'm going to build up forts along Arlen to help out. It's going to be difficult along these two because there's no river line here if they break through, which means it's going to be harder to defend against. Because the rivers is such a big modifier in terms of providing defense. So my goal here as the Belgium is at least to hold the Germans back, because with France what tends to happen is they don't have a lot of manpower to begin with, and because they don't have a lot of manpower it's harder for them to build a lot of armies. And what happens is that the army, because how the AI works, it like stretches out the force all along the border of France, and then when Belgium falls, they moves the troops up because it has to defend that portion now. So now it's stretched here, it's stretched all along the Mangello line. So you see the fort. Okay, you can't see it because it's from my perspective, but you see how like the river here, where the blue is, that's like the Maginot line. Okay, and then you jump down to Italy, and then it has to defend here too because Italy joins into the fight. So its forces are just spread thin. So it collapses like a house of cards once Germany is able to break through. So as long as I can hold Germany back up north here, where as Belgium, France should be able to survive for a pretty long time. The only problem I'm going to deal with, unfortunately, is at some point the AI is going to go, oh, okay, I can't break through here, and it's going to funnel like all of its troops through Italy and break through. And unfortunately, at some point, I need to figure out a way of dealing with that by putting the least amount of troops possible to defend this border, while having maybe a unit down here to try to deal with that. Try to figure out what. Yeah, because once they break through, it's like GG. So I'm hoping, because I think I counted 8 provinces I have to defend. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, yeah. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to hold Luxembourg. It's going to be difficult because the moment they declare war on them, the German troops are basically going to be entering the border. So I have to do a counterattack. Okay, so... Oh. Oh, yeah, I'm texting Eric. Yes, I'm on Twitch, Eric. So let me send in the yes. His microphone broke, which is why Eric's not doing his Halloween stream tonight. Yeah. Yeah, my mic broke, and it's time for me to rest now that the Halloween horror train is over. Oh, okay, so he was gonna rest anyway, but still, that's a shame. Okay. Oh, because of how the mechanics of this game work, you don't want too many units on one location, or when you're involved in combat. So, see how I have 3 here in this one area? I'm just highlighting yeah. So that's fine. But if, let's say, I'm like, okay, I'll select all my units, all you guys attack this one point. That's bad. I'm going to lose a lot of manpower, a lot of attrition. Okay, so to get around... Oh. If you overstack, if you have too many units fighting one location, like, you know what I mean? If you try to funnel, let's say I am at Paris here, and then I want to attack, Versailles. Like, I don't want to have, like, 20 units in Paris all attacking Versailles at one point. Like, I would want to have my units next to Versailles, a couple, up here, down here, around it, because then you're increasing the width of the battle, in a sense. It increases the width of the battle, so that way you are not taking attrition, and your organization is not going to be penalized. It will make sense in combat because then it'll be a combat window that will show up and it'll explain like the modifiers that are impacting it. So it'll be like general leadership. It's nighttime. It's you're attacking on on a hill, or you're attacking a person that's entrenched. Yeah. So there's a lot of little modifiers that can affect it, and that's one of them. So. With how important the river line is, I might be able to get away with 3 divisions per each one, but we'll see. At the very least, I'm just trying to figure out the math to make sure I even have how many troops can I even build? Because even though it says 125 up there, there's the mobilization, and it shows you that because my units are in reserve, in reality I have a lot less manpower to work with. So you subtract that 80.4 from 125, and you get the actual manpower. Of course, and my manpower growth, because it's on volunteer army, it's only 0.8 per month, so it's very small. So once that gets down to 0, like the total manpower I have, I know Germany is just basically going to throw everything at me because it knows it can break me. Even if it's going to cost them some manpower, it's like, it's worth it. It's going to be tough. But if I lose, it's fine. At least I tried. Oh, yes? Yes. Well, you're assuming that I'm doing it because I'm trying to get attention or something. I mean, I'm just doing it for fun, really. If I make anything out of it, that's good. Yes. Yeah, I guess. I know that's why. Yeah. That's fine. We'll see how it works. It's not a big deal to me. It's like more like just I can do it, so let me see. Oh yeah, that would be definitely pretty interesting because there's a lot of dialogue and stuff. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't have the equipment for that. Unless it's like, I'm not gonna pay on Steam to buy it again if it is on Steam. Yes. True, true. Yeah, I just sort of like it because it's a little difficult to play, and it just, I don't know, it's just something I find a bit fun. I guess because it has the situational weapons involved, so it kind of forces you to think about like, is this a particular situation that I can use it in, and like just sort of the creativeness of it. Because like the AI is like not very smart, but like it's the what makes it difficult is the situations you put yourself in. Yeah, like say if like because you can pick different nations, and because you can pick different nations, that sets the difficulty in a sense. Yeah, exactly. So some of the challenge would be to see how long you could do it for, or if you're even able to, because maybe the situation could open up that'll allow you to. Yes, because yeah, it doesn't like there are certain things that are like railroaded, but like it's like Germany, for example, will always ask Poland for Danzig, and Poland will always give will say no, which means always go to war. Germany will also always get Austria and Czechoslovakia. There are certain things like dominoes that must fall in order for it to work, but after that it's fine. Of course, there's certain like conditions. For example, like because if France does not fall, it means that the U.S. neutrality remains pretty high, so they won't get involved until Japan declares war on them. I think. Well, they may. It's weird sometimes. I think because depending on if you're playing as the U.S. or if the AI is playing on the U.S., so there's I guess different checks involved. Okay. Yeah, just sit back, relax, grab a beer, right? Actually, in your case, it would be an apple cider. Okay. Oh my. Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. The VTubers. What was it again? That one person who got drunk and entered. What was it? Discord. Okay. Yes. Oh my goodness. Mhm. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes. Mhm. Oh. Mm-hmm. No. Is he a VTuber? She. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, 12 so people in the organization, you're saying? Mm. Mm-hmm. Is she like a MILF? Oh, okay. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Okay. Does she call you honey? Is that why? Is it because she calls you honey? Is that a hint that I should do that? Just okay. Ay caramba. Said ay caramba. Gotta have your own catchphrase. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. Oh god. I would I would imagine that some of it is real, but it's probably like exaggerated because the live streaming. Oh, true, true. Is that why you prefer them more? Because it sounds like you really like them. Mm-hmm. Of course. Wait, what was your type you said? Was it ESTJ you said? Okay. Yes. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Like, oh wow. Like it. Okay. Oh, okay. So they break into Discord streams. You're saying is she the one that got drunk? It's uh. Mhm. Oh. Mhm. Oh boy. Mhm. Oh, well, I mean, when has it gone right? National Lampoon. That's what I'm thinking of. Oh. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that's good then. That's good you're enjoying it. Yeah. Yeah, that's of course. That's fine. Of course, yep. For what? For the Exceed? Yeah, yeah, you could send me over a Discord. I don't. Oh, are you saying it? What? It's tomorrow? Okay. Because I'm gonna be playing this, so I might have to keep. Yeah, because it. Oh, honestly, I don't know. I was gonna probably play until 11 before I go to bed, because I have work at 9 in the morning. So as long as I get bed around then, I should be good. 'Cause, yeah. Yeah, because oh my goodness, it is so much faster than the old one. Because it's like a big difference. It's like zoom. Oh my goodness. Oh, definitely. Yeah, we could probably live stream that too. That's what I'm figuring. Just I'm actually off Saturday, luckily enough, so I'll be able to do that if it's this Saturday. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So do you need like the Steam? How does it work? Do you need like share it? Or do you? I'm trying to say, can someone like the host share it, or do other people need to own the game? Well, I mean, because you said you Steam or you do Ninja Burger. You. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. True. Mm-hmm. How did that go? Because you said Mm-hmm. Is this the Brian that I've met before? Uh, what? I was saying when I went to Florida. Yes. Okay, then no, I have not met him. No. Now I like this pretty nice. Just have someone like talk and then I play. I kind of like that because then if you have something interesting you want to talk about, you know what I mean. I think yes. Well, I mean, we're like the only ones, right? Mhm. Because that's what I was. Like I said, I was on Zeus's streams. Yeah, yesterday. That one of the games he was playing. It's because it deals with philosophy and stuff. It was me, Chess Rook, and then Zeus. It was three people. Chess Rook. I haven't met him before, but he. I think one of the games. I guess it was VR. It sounded like they were playing. Yes. Yeah, well, I would assume so, given all the secrets that are involved and like the philosophy that was involved too. No, let me bring it up. I thought that was it. Maybe I'm mistaken. Uh, why is it? Oh, that's because he's not streaming. That's right. No, I can't bring it up. It's not Phasmophobia. It's like Tals something. Yes. It was one of the ones that Dan, if you're on Zeus's stream, you could see the ones that he has streamed before. Yeah, the Talos Principle. Yeah, that's I was mistaking it for. Uh no. Yes. Oh. Oh, okay. Because I remember downloading one of the dedicated streamers. I noted the servers on Steam. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just download this. So okay. Yeah. Got like 200 games on Steam. I also have you ever played? You might not have, because of your age. There was like Freddy Fish and Spy Fox and stuff. Okay, they were like adventure games, but like for kids. But they're still pretty fun today because what's neat about it is that each time you beat it, the puzzles are different. See what I'm saying? Yeah, so it could be a little different. So you could it's like it's replay value in a sense. So, so one of the first games is Spy Fox Dry Cereal, and the villain wants to steal all the milk. Yes, and replace it with his goat milk because he's a goat. So he steals all the cows. It's great because you have all these gadgets, but they're all like silly gadgets. Like you stick a shoe on your forehead, on your over your eyes, so you can see in the dark. Yeah, there's. You look at one of the dry cereal boxes, the dry cereal game. You'll see it. It's it might might have to play the game 2 or 3 times to get that one. Yeah. So that's what's neat about it is like it's a replay value involved. I think you have to. I haven't played in a while exactly if you have to do like a new save or something like a because it kind of works like a new game plus in a sense. But it's not like you keep any of the items or anything. It's more like the puzzles you go through are a little different. They did a few of them. They did Spy Fox Dry Cereal. They did the one in which you go to a theme park. Not and then the other one in which the villain she invents aerosol, this giant aerosol can in the it's like a satellite that goes around Earth, constantly spraying aerosol to destroy the ozone layer in order to help out her business because then people would have to buy her sunscreen. Yeah, it's crazy. She's a poodle dog, so like you know how poodles have like those balls or whatever around its head that like are like fluffy and stuff. So the idea is like she'll be able to like you know with makeup and stuff, how it's like you pat your face with it. Because you know what I'm saying, it's like you have like you open up the compact and then you use that soft stuff against it, and then you yeah. Basically, she does that with because of she's a poodle dog. If I'm not mistaken, it's been a while. It's a game. It's Spy Fox. Yeah. So they did 3 of those games, and then Freddy Fish. There were like 5 of them. Again, same thing because they were built. I think Hasbro might have been involved, or it might have been some other person involved in it. But they did Spy Fox. They did Freddy Fish. They did Pajama Sam. You might have heard of that one. I think Pajama Sam. Oh, that would be pretty interesting. It just sounds like it compared to like, oh, come on, Freddy, we have to stop this guy from stealing our toys. These ghosts from stealing our toys to the total annihilation. Hmm. Yes. Yes. Oh, you know what? I could. I'm gonna save it here. You know, I could probably just bring up real quick. Spy Fox. You might enjoy that a little bit more. Yes. And then you have Monkey Penny. Yeah. Okay. So let me bring it up. Hopefully, it doesn't have to be windowed for this one. I mean, hopefully you'll be able to see it. Spy Fox and dry cereal. I can't stop it. Can you see anything right now? No, that's only that.
Got milk? Not anymore.
Yeah,
Everything
because
is
right now
going
it's.
just as I planned.
Shit.
Soon the entire world will be
It's
without
not good.
dairy milk. No butter on
Because
toast.
it
No
plays.
ice
There's a
cream.
video that plays
no
while the game
cheddar
is playing.
cheese and nothing but dry cereal.
Shit.
I
How are we gonna do this? Oh wait, can you see it now? Oh, you still can't. Oh. Okay. Oh man, this is gonna be difficult for every single one. Because I'm gonna have, if we want to do it this way, I'm gonna have to somehow always be able to put it into windowed mode. Doing Steam. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Shit. Okay, we might not be able to do. You would have to watch it then, I guess, on Twitch, but that wouldn't work. So I would have to find games that I can put into windowed, probably like an emulator or something, in order for you to see it. Oh boy, this is tricky. Okay, so since it's not gonna work. Yeah, that's. Mhm. Yep, for MF Freddy Fish, that's the one. Oh my goodness. Okay, because I know for the first one they worked with someone and unfortunately passed away before the first game of Spy Fox Dry Cereal was even finished. Oh, yeah, he must have been the other person. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Properties, because I'm looking at a guide. Apparently, you can switch it to. You have to do Steam in general in order to switch it to windowed. So, okay, so I need to put into. Okay, it's in general. Set launch. Yes. Yes. And is it because it's your ESTJ, so it's the opposite of you, so I guess opposite attracts? Mm-hmm. 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 Well, oh.
I wonder.
Okay, I'm gonna end the stream right here.